I've had it up to here with my sister. So like I had a medical exam this week, right? I had to print out the requisition form for the lab request. As you all know, in my little apartment space here, I don't have a printer. So I emailed the form to my sister. It was the night before at like 9:30, so it was already pitch black outside. I was like, can you please print this for me? It's a bit urgent. Yeah, I sent my requisition form to her and I'm like, can you please print this? And she's like, sure. That'll be $30. And I'm like, fine. You know what? You want to banter? That's fine. $30. I'll bring it. You need your little allowance, little college girl? $30 for how many pages? One page. Anywho, she like emails me like 5 minutes later. She's like, okay, ready for pickup. I head down the stairs to the door in the dark. With our back balcony door, how it works is there's a keypad with a password, so I don't need a key. But it's dark, right? So I'm like kind of fumbling with it. I'm like putting in the number code to unlock the door. I get it, I open the door, and she is there in the pitch dark. And when I open the door, her face is directly against mine, and I scream so loud that both of my parents come running out. She was probably on her phone, like emailing me the response already being ready at the door, like knees bent, anticipating exactly where my face would be when I opened it. My parents got so mad. And she was laughing her little ass off. She was twerking in my face. Like, I was so mad. I was losing it. I was so scared. And my mom was like all disappointed at her. And my mom was like, you can't scare your sister like that. You know she has a weak heart. And I'm like, what do you mean, Mom? I'm right here. You know how old I'm about to be this year? Like 42 multiplied by 2. And you're still treating me like a toddler. My dad was like incredulous too. He was like, you know, like we have so many different points of entry around our house. How did you know that your sister would be at that door specifically? And how did you get there so fast? I was wondering this too, because if I had like started inputting the code into the door and she had heard and like rushed over from where her workstation is to the door, it would have taken a while, first of all, and second of all, I would have been able to hear her, like her little flip-flops pattering on the other side. But I didn't, which means she was literally waiting against the door in advance, waiting for me to come down. You know what she said? She said I knew she was going to use that door because it's the only door that uses a keypad lock, and I know that Yui is too lazy to bring her own damn key. I was like, yeah, you're right. I got no words for that. Yeah, you're right. I do that. I got read like a book. You know what the worst part of all of this was? It was Wednesday night, like close to 10 p.m. at the point that I went to go pick it up. She had a midterm at 8:30 a.m. Thursday morning, bright and early, and she still had the audacity to do that to me. I wish her the worst. I hope she got like a B plus on that test. She's doing so well in her first year of college compared to me. It's making me a little bit upset. You know what's really embarrassing about it? I reassured her like repeatedly throughout the summer, over and over. I was like, getting straight A's in high school, especially in your first year in college, is not as easy. Like, it's not the same as getting straight A's in college, especially when you're initially adapting and especially when you're going into a STEM degree like you are. It's gonna be different. I don't want you to feel like you have your ego or your motivation crushed because you get a B here or there. These are great. If anything, in these classes, C pluses are what they are. They're a benchmark for average scores. So B's are fine if you get a few. And I was trying to like take her out of like the Asian first gen kid perfectionist curse. This bitch isn't even trying and she's getting straight A's, dude. She's taking all the same classes I was and she's doing fine. You know how much I struggled during my first year? I keep like at this point, right? It's mid-October, right? Their semester goes from like September to December. Mid-October is midterm season. It should be. Do you know where I was when I was 18 years old? I forgot about my birthday that year. I was dying. I was so humiliated by my test taking experiences. I couldn't even look at my scores once they came out. I just prayed that I passed. What was your GPA, bro? Shut up. By far, like my grades in college during my first year were the worst. I was like distraught. I was like, I'm just not meant for academia. But I learned how to make it work. 2.8 out GPA. Shut up. I'll have you know, I graduated with a cumulative GPA.
I did so well in high school that they asked me take classes even in the summer.
You too? I graduated from my degree in the end with a cumulative GPA of 3.9. But my first year was very different. I was one of those kids in high school who had to repeat classes during the summer 3 years in a row. I was so bad at school. After I graduated from high school, I technically graduated late because in the summer after high school, like between high school and college, after grade 12, I still went to summer high school that year. And you won't believe the course that I had to retake because I paid so little attention to it. Wanna guess what that course was? History, math, it was English. I had to redo English 12. It's crazy, right? It's just because I didn't care about anything in English. I just couldn't. I didn't hand anything in for the majority of the year. I'm pretty sure I skipped half that year's classes too. The year before this, you know, the summer between grade 11 and grade 12, I went to summer school. And keep in mind, I'm going into grade 12. I redid English 10 that summer. I was in grade 11 that whole year, and they let me take English 11 because nobody could believe that I had somehow skipped enough of English 10 to actually fail it because I speak fluent English, apparently. They're like, there's just no way. You have like okay grades and everything else. There must be an error. They let me go in to English 11 even though I had technically failed English 10 because I just didn't show up. I was a degenerate, dude. When I retook the course in the summer and got it over with in the span of like what, 6 weeks? 6 to 8 weeks at most? I finished that course with 98%. I wrote so many essays, I got a 98. Woo! Where'd the other 2% go? Poetry. I remember exactly where I lost those marks. We have the same parents. Why are we so different?